Hey everyone, I'm Derek. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for clicking on my video today. As you're watching this video, if you find you like it, remember to go down and give me a thumbs up. And if you happen to not be a subscriber yet, I'd really appreciate it if you went down and subscribed as well. So it's been 1 year since I made the most disliked video I've ever made and put on YouTube. In December of 2019, it's now December of 2020, I made the decision to sell off all of my Milwaukee tools because my battery performance was going way down and I was going to have to spend a bunch of money on batteries. And I also just wanted to have more capabilities with my tools, with my cordless tool lineup, and it was going to be extremely expensive to keep doing that with the Milwaukee tools, where it's been a lot easier to afford to kind of expand my cordless tool system with the Bauer Tools. I started buying Bauer Tools over a year and a half ago, getting pretty close to 2 years. I bought this angle grinder and one of my drills, and since then I've picked up a total of like 15 tools, a whole slew of batteries, 3 chargers. So in this video I'm going to talk about whether or not I feel like that was a bad decision, whether or not I regret it, and some of my thoughts and concerns just on the Bauer tool system in general. So I'll just start off with some of my concerns about the Bauer lineup and getting heavily invested in the cordless tools. And that's just that I wonder whether or not Harbor Freight's really going to stick with this tool brand and support it, selling the batteries and the products for them for a long period of time. Recently, it seems like I think they dumped their Lynx outdoor power equipment cordless tool brand, which from what I understand was not that old, and they replaced it with the Atlas brand, and then there is some Bauer stuff that is outdoor power equipment, and so they just kind of have a reputation of not supporting their battery platforms for very long. And for example, Milwaukee, they've been supporting that battery lineup or that cordless tool system at least since 2013 when I bought my very first set of cordless tools. And they were probably doing it for at least 5 years before that, because I've seen some much older kind of looking designed batteries that came along with other co-workers that had Milwaukee batteries that were probably at least 3 or 4 years old. And so they've probably been supporting that tool lineup for easily 13 years now. Harbor Freight better do the same thing with the Bauer lineup. Otherwise, I really will lose all faith in them, especially for cordless tools. With that being said, you can tell that I've invested a lot of money into it, and so I'm not truly actually very concerned about it. It is just a mild concern. So I guess I'll have to tell you one of the things that frustrate me about the Bauer lineup is that Harbor Freight started pumping out these Bauer tools a couple of years ago now, and they were putting out like these Gen 1 versions that looked quite a bit different and just all around like they have less quality. For example, I got one of the and Harbor Freight hasn't specified these as like Gen 1 or Gen 2. It's just my term for it. But I've seen it. I've got a drill that's kind of taking the Gen 1 form and a drill that kind of has the Gen 2 form and design, and the Gen 1 doesn't even have a Jacob style chuck. The chuck is a little bit different, and it doesn't hold bits as well. The second gen, in my experience across the board, the second gen tools are better looking. They have better rubber overmolds. They just seem to perform at least slightly better across the board. So it kind of seems like Harbor Freight just took whatever mold the manufacturer of these Bauer tools was going to give them, and then they slowly kind of developed their own, building their own tool over time and pumping out 2 kind of different versions, 2 different generations of the tools. And so where I'm stuck with some of the first gen batteries that don't even have like the nice grippy rubber overmolding on the bottom of them, they just have that ugly cheap red looking plastic on them. I'm stuck with some of those when they've come out with this new stuff that looks a lot better very, very shortly after coming out with it. It'd be different if they ran with it for a number of years, 3, 4, 5 years. And then we're just like, oh, hey, we're going to put out a Gen 2 system. We want it to look a lot better. We kind of want to put out some nicer looking tools. So here's a Gen 2. But a lot of the prices stayed exactly the same. They didn't even specify that they were coming out with these new, better looking tools and better performing tools even. and then they just kind of just put them out there. It's just like they tried to push the Bauer line prematurely before it was really ready to be sold, with the design and the looks and the performance that these Gen 2 tools are coming out with. So that's just another concern that I have with them. One other thing to touch on really quick about the Bauer Tools that I'm not exactly a big fan of, and that's that they only come with a 90-day warranty. It seems like if Harbor Freight really wanted to stand behind these tools and say hey, we believe this is a decent quality product that we're giving you and selling you, we're going to stand behind it with a 1-year warranty. If they're selling you a power tool that they can't even stand behind without making you pay extra money for an entire year. So with those 3 different concerns mentioned, I just have to say I'm still super excited about this tool brand. I really have nothing but good things to say about it. I definitely don't have bad things to say about it, just the concerns like I mentioned. So let's talk real quick about what it would cost if I was to get everything in the Milwaukee lineup that I have in the Bauer lineup. One of the purposes in switching to Bauer that I mentioned was that I wanted to expand the tool line that I had. I wanted to be able to just do more things like get the buffer, get the weed or string trimmer, get a fan, have a couple of angle grinders. This is not going to be a perfect number because things do go on sale. You can buy the combo kits. There are different, better ways to buy it than the way I looked this up, but I tried to come really close without spending a ton of extra time to do this, because this isn't really the focus of the video. But if I was to buy every single tool, and again, I tried to go, because all of my Bauer tools are brushed tools, I tried to find the brushed tools in the Milwaukee versions. A couple of them don't even come in anything but brushless fuel versions of the tool, so I can't help it in 1 or 2, maybe 3 of them at the most. But most of these are going to be pretty comparable tools, so it's not going to be perfectly apples to apples, but just know that it would be pretty close, and you'd probably be spending somewhere right around this number if you were to buy everything that I have in the Bauer in the Milwaukee. And the number I came up with was $2,500. That's what I would spend if I was going to buy all these exact same tools over again. So even this isn't exactly accurate. I probably spent right around or just under $1,000 on my Bauer tools, but the numbers I came up with just from adding it up, just to be pretty fair to the Milwaukee tools, was $1,120, $1,120 to buy all these Bauer tools. So it's well under half what it would cost to get into the Milwaukee lineup, to get into the Bauer lineup. So if you were to ask me, hey Derek, are you regretting buying and replacing your Milwaukee tools with the Bauer tools, or how are you feeling about it? I would have to say that overall, I'm still feeling really optimistic about the Bauer lineup. I'm really satisfied with it so far. Again, I've said it 100 times, but these tools offer super high value for really decent quality tools, and I don't regret it at all. So again, guys, if you like this video, please go down and give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. It helps my channel out, and my channel needs some help. The other thing is, if you like this video, if you're into Bauer tools, or even if you're not, if you're just into DIY projects, I don't really do stuff around the house. It's mostly just kind of like welding and mechanic type things. Go ahead and click subscribe. I build some things and just kind of have a good time in my shop reviewing tools, doing projects, and taking care of my stuff. That's mostly what I try to do. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.